Welcome to the Medical Detectives, where every case tells a story, and every story reveals a mystery. Each video, we embark on a journey into the unknown, investigating baffling medical conditions and rare diseases that have left the world's leading experts searching for answers. Here, it's not just about symptoms or diagnoses, it's about the human stories behind these medical mysteries. We uncover cases that challenge the boundaries of modern medicine, where every clue is a step closer to understanding the complex and often mysterious workings of the human body. From strange illnesses with no known cause to life-threatening conditions that defy all odds, we delve into real-life stories that blur the line between science and mystery. These are the cases where doctors become detectives, piecing together the puzzle of the unknown in the hopes of unlocking the answers that could change lives. Join us as we explore the unsolved, the unexplainable, and the extraordinary. From shocking diagnoses to miraculous recoveries, we're here to uncover the truth behind the world's most perplexing medical mysteries. This is the Medical Detectives, where the search for answers never stops, and every case could be the key to the next breakthrough. Imagine if every step, every movement, and even every breath required intense focus, an exhausting process just to stay alive. This is the life of Ian Waterman, a man whose world turned upside down after a mysterious illness left him unable to move as we do. This isn't just an inspiring survival story, it's one of the most perplexing medical cases known to science. Join us as we unravel the case of Ian Waterman, the man who forgot how to breathe.
Ian Waterman was an ordinary, healthy young man in his early 20s. He was active, working as a butcher, and living a normal life in the south of England. But in 1971, everything changed. It started innocuously enough. He caught a virus, likely gastrointestinal, a common ailment that most of us would recover from within a few days. But Ian's recovery never came. Instead, he woke up to a nightmare that seemed to defy logic and medical understanding.
The virus didn't just make Ian sick. It left him with a condition called sensory neuronopathy, which resulted in the complete loss of his proprioception, the sense of the body's position in space. This condition is extremely rare, and for Ian, it was devastating.
For most people, proprioception is an invisible process. It allows us to walk, reach, and breathe without a second thought. But Ian's sensory neurons, those responsible for sending signals from his limbs to his brain, had been permanently damaged. His body was now a foreign vessel, a disconnected entity he had to control manually. He lost sensation not only in his hands and feet but across his entire body, rendering him unable to sense the position of his arms, legs, or even his torso. Imagine closing your eyes and being unable to tell where your hand is without seeing it.
This sudden loss of body awareness meant that Ian couldn't walk, stand, or even sit up without losing balance. Basic movements became monumental tasks.
Ian was forced to relearn every physical movement from scratch. He had to visually guide himself through every action, something we can barely imagine. Walking, for example, required him to look at his legs and think about each muscle contraction. It was akin to reprogramming his brain to control his body in real time. He began with a rigorous, almost unimaginable routine of physical training and mental concentration. Day by day, he worked with therapists to reclaim basic functions that most of us perform without ever noticing.
Ian's condition didn't just affect his movement. It impaired his body's autonomic functions, those we normally perform without thinking. Breathing, a fundamental action necessary for life, had to be consciously maintained.
For Ian, inhaling and exhaling required focused attention. The part of his nervous system responsible for these automatic functions was compromised. To stay alive, Ian had to actively control each breath. This mental burden is almost unfathomable, and the effort required was relentless. His nights were a particularly difficult challenge, as sleeping with a need to think about breathing was nearly impossible. Sleep, therefore, became shallow and irregular, adding to his exhaustion.
Ian's condition didn't just affect his body. The mental strain of constant concentration on every movement was profound.
Imagine what that level of effort does to a person's mental state. The simple act of brushing his teeth required him to look at his hand to know it was holding the toothbrush. Daily activities became mental exercises, each requiring step-by-step focus. This constant need to operate his own body took a toll. Social interactions were challenging, the sense of vulnerability, the visible concentration he needed for basic tasks, all of this isolated him from a world that couldn't understand the level of his struggle.
Sensory neuronopathy of this nature is still poorly understood. What caused this virus to wreak such specific, lasting damage?
Ian's case left scientists scratching their heads. Sensory neurons are responsible for sending crucial signals about touch, pressure, and body position from the limbs to the brain. In Ian's case, these neurons were severely compromised. What's fascinating is the selectivity of this damage. Only Ian's sensory pathways were affected, his motor pathways were left intact, meaning his muscles could move, but only if he told them to. This selective damage raises important questions. Why did the virus specifically attack his sensory system? And why is this condition so rare? These questions remain largely unanswered.
Ian's journey is not just a medical mystery, it's a testament to the adaptability of the human mind.
Over time, Ian developed ways to navigate his life despite his profound impairments. He created a manual override of sorts, using his visual senses to compensate for the lack of bodily awareness. This process required unimaginable focus and discipline, but Ian persevered. He turned a devastating condition into a manageable reality, proving that the mind can sometimes fill in where the body fails. His story has inspired neurologists and researchers worldwide, offering a rare look at how the brain and body can adapt under extreme conditions.
Today, Ian Waterman's life stands as both an inspiration and a challenge to the medical field. His story is a reminder that there's so much we still don't understand about the human body and its Thanks for joining us on this journey through today's medical mystery. If this case had you questioning, analyzing, or on the edge of your seat, then you're in the right place. Here on The Medical Detectives, we dive deep into the unexplained, unraveling cases from history, puzzling diagnoses, and the most unexpected recoveries. So, if you're as fascinated by the twists and turns of these real-life stories as we are, be sure to hit that subscribe button below. And don't forget to turn on notifications. That way, you'll be the first to know every time a new case is posted. Who knows what strange or life-changing revelation might come up next. Until then, keep your mind sharp, stay curious, and join us as we explore the stories that make the world of medicine as mysterious as it is miraculous. See you in the next episode.